Equivalent fractions. We're going to look at equivalent fractions. In this lesson, we're going to describe equivalent fractions. We'll look at the steps in creating them, and then we will list some equivalent fractions. Now, equivalent fractions are fractions that have the same value but look different. So that means that equivalent fractions are fractions that have the same value. So if you reduce them, they end up being exactly the same value, but the way that they're presented or the way that they are written is different from each other. So let's look at the steps in creating equivalent fractions. We're going to either multiply or divide the numerator and denominator by the same number, and then the new fraction will be the equivalent fraction of the already given fraction. Let's look at how we can use that in some examples. So we're going to list an equivalent fraction of 2 over 3 or 2/3. So what we're saying here is 2 over 3, we can multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same number. So let's choose 5. 2 multiplied by 5, 3 multiplied by 5. So this is 10 over 15. So what we see here is 10 over 15 is an equivalent fraction of 2 over 3. So how can we prove that? 10 over 15, if we divide by 5 and divide by 5, you see we have 10 divided by 5 is 2, 15 divided by 5 is 3. So these fractions have the same value, but they are presented differently. List two equivalent fractions of 7 over 14. So 7 over 14, one of the things we said with equivalent fractions is you can either divide or multiply by the same number. So let's try it. We can divide this by 7, both sides by both numerator and denominator by 7. 7 divided by 7 is 1. 14 divided by 7 is 2. So 7 over 14 and 1/2 are equivalent fractions. So we can also multiply 1/2 by 3, numerator and denominator by 3, so we have 3 over 6. So we can see also that 7 over 14 is equal to 1/2, which is equal to 3 over 6. We can also multiply 7 over 14 by 2 on both sides, or rather the numerator and denominator. So we have 14 over 28. So 7 over 14 is equal to 1/2, which is equal to 3 over 6, which is equal to 14 over 28. Now list an equivalent fraction of 5 over 12. So we're going to multiply numerator and denominator by the same number. So here I'm going to choose 6. And then so 5 times 6 is 30. And then 12 multiplied by 6, we have 72. So 5 over 12 and 30 over 72 are equivalent fractions. Now we're going to try to list 3 equivalent fractions of 7 over 9. So for 7 over 9, we're going to multiply by 2. So this is going to give us 14 over 18. We can also multiply 7 over 9, both numerator and denominator, by 7. And we have 7 times 7, 49. 9 times 7, we have 63. We can also multiply by 13 on both the numerator and denominator. So 7 times 13. So 13 times 7, we have 21. 1 times 7 is 7 plus 2, 9. So that's 91. 13 multiplied by 9. 3 times 9, we have 27. We carry 2 up there. 1 multiplied by 9, we have 9 plus 2, 11. So we have 117. So 7 over 9 is the same as 14 over 18, which is also the same as 49 over 63, which is the same as 91 over 117.